go through some injuries first?
Um,
Sertan,
it's not. They're still doing the test on him.
Glasgow.
Glasgow, he'll be out for a while.
Is it a fracture? And
I think so. You know,
Reisner,
he's fine.
and then Massey,
He'll miss a game or two.
Ajim,
Not sure yet.
and for the guys who missed yesterday, Purcell and Bowles, will they still be out?
Bowles maybe. Mike, we just felt Mike needed another week to practice with that cast on and get used to it. And we'll see how he does this week.
And then how about Malik Reed for this week?
I think he'll be back.
With Sertan, every now and then when somebody gets hurt, to say, "Oh, there's fears that it's season ending." I mean, do you have any concept of?
I don't think that's
severity?
the case. No.
Do you expect Noah Fant or Natani Mute to be back this week?
Yeah, Mute will be back tomorrow, I believe. He's out of the COVID protocols, and Noah's got one last hurdle here to cross. He might be back in tomorrow.
Coach, did Josh Allen, oh, I'm sorry, did Drew Lock, my bad. Did Drew Lock know that he might have been a close contact before he got on the plane, or did he find everything out after he landed in Dallas?
Yeah, he found out while he was on the plane that somebody in his circle that he's close with tested positive, and he immediately let us know.
Did he tell you on the plane itself that that might be happening?
I don't know that. You know, he communicated with the guys that have the COVID.
So
that
nobody
are
in the
charge of
organization,
COVID.
including Drew, knew anything about his close contact before he got on the plane?
I don't know the answer to that.
Is he back here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Not in the building, but in town.
Town.
Yeah.
What'd you make of? You mentioned after the game, Calvin Anderson thought he played well. What'd you see?
He did. Yeah, he played very well. It was a really good game for Calvin, one that he should be proud of and give him a lot of confidence moving forward.
If Garrett is back and Bobby's out, do you like Calvin at right tackle?
Yeah, that could possibly be the move.
Yeah, what was just kind of your overall impression? You had a lot of reserves fill in on the offensive line of how that group kind of maintained in the second half.
Yeah, they did a good job. You know, Meinertz came in and did well. Cam Fleming came in and did well. You know, Schlotman had to come in for a little bit. You know, I thought everybody, you know, and Calvin was already in there from the start. So, you know, at some point there, had 4 backup offensive linemen in there, and I think they all did a good job.
How did Kenny Young and Baron Browning do it at his side?
Yeah, they did better, you know, and what you expect. You know, last week was their first game for us. You know, Kenny's played a lot of football. Barron didn't play any football prior to last week, and I think this game here, he made some good improvements, and Kenny's picking up the things and feeling more comfortable with us, and he played better too.
With Glasgow out, is Mute going there, or is Quinn the candidate to play in his place?
Yeah, both of them are. You know, we'll decide that here early in the week.
The offense has been better on third down, over 50% the last 2 weeks. What have you seen that's helped that improvement?
Well, we've avoided the third and really, really longs. You know, that's one place to start. And we've converted some 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, and 3rd and 10s, you know, which we weren't doing earlier. So anytime you can do that and keep a drive going, you get a new set of downs, gives you a chance to hand it off another time or two, run a play pass or two. You know, you get a rhythm then, you know, because you're not always just you're going to face a 3rd down eventually, and you got to convert them.
Vic, you had 2 plays where Jerry was kind of wide open in the flat after he had gone in motion. From a defensive perspective, what does that do? I guess why does that become effective? What does it force the defense to do when he's kind of in that motion?
Well, you got to be honed up in your pickups, exactly how it's going to unfold, and everybody's got to be on the same page. And if one guy's off, there'll be somebody wide open, and that's what happened on that play.
With Jerry getting fined for that arrow celebration, I know that the league fines you for weird stuff. Were you surprised, and then do you think he was about to do it again with the
Which
fake,
one?
Did the fake arrow thing last week and got fined, I guess, and then almost did it yesterday. Did it? So gives you an idea, I guess, of how where you are. I think I fined like $10,000. So that is.
Yeah, I usually get any time the guys get fined for anything through the league, I get an email of it. I might have missed that one.
You had said yesterday you guys had made some slight adjustments in the run game. Not specifically, what was it that you were looking to accomplish by those adjustments?
Just to dress it up a little bit more, you know, to just put a little indecision in the defensive minds as to where the ball might be going and having to make an adjustment on the run.
You guys mentioned a sense of urgency these last few weeks. Is there now a sense of momentum here as you come in on Monday and meet after a couple wins?
Yeah, I'm sure there is to some degree. There's nothing like winning, and we've won 2 in a row. But the whole focus is to get to 6-4 now. Nothing else. And we got to put all our energy, both physically and mentally and emotionally, into that.
We know that you guys really liked Javante in the draft process, but have you even been just a little bit surprised at his physicality so far in 9 games?
No, that's what you saw on college tape. That he's doing it so well so early, maybe, but we expected that. I can remember many of us commenting in the OTAs, part of the off season and training camp, when things aren't live, and he wasn't giving you the oohs and ahs plays then, because his ooh and ah plays, as you've seen, come on contact and running through tackles.
Coach, I'm curious because there's a lot of things.
What's that?
I'm curious, Coach, because a lot of things could have happened this season where you're on a 4-game losing streak. How were you able to just right the ship so far with the last couple of weeks? Von Miller gets traded, a lot of things happened. How were you able to right the ship with this team? What was the message that you had specifically?
Yeah, you just have to have a steady hand through everything. As you guys know, you're a big part of it. It's a 6-day lifespan here in this league. And we're on to the next one, win or lose. And getting the focus back, correcting errors, win or lose, and then having a good week of preparation. And the teams that do that the best, are standing at the end of the day.
Are you able to reinforce or lift a new standard based on your performance yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that is the standard, what we want. Is it always going to be 30-0 with 5 minutes to go in the game? Probably not. We played Washington the week before and had to hang on there at the end. And every week's a new adventure. But I do think the guys saw the way they're capable of playing with a lot of so-called backups in there and people missing. And it doesn't matter who's out there. We still have a chance to go win and play good. Hold on.
A couple guys after the game mentioned that practice in the last couple weeks have taken on a greater tempo. Have you changed the format at all, or and why have you seen that as well?
No, we really haven't changed the format that much. We really haven't. But, when you lose a couple in a row, you're either going to give in or you're going to refocus and everybody gather together. And I think that's more of what's happened.
You mentioned all those reserve offensive linemen. How much is them being ready a testament to Munchak and the job he's done with them here?
Yeah, Mike does a great job, him and Coop. I thought our offensive coaches did a great job all week. We had a good plan, had a good mix of plays. We had some good schemes going, and I thought the whole offensive staff did a good job.
Vic, in your decades, have you ever had that many rookies on a road game have to step up like that, take big roles, or guys from one draft class? And what's it say about that draft class?
Yeah, I don't know. As you said, decades, so I can't remember that far. But, yeah, I mean, they got to be ready to go. Like, the first message to the rookies when they get here is there's no red shirt year. You got to be ready to play if you're on the 53. And if you're dressed on the 48, you got to be ready to play. And these guys have been ready to play.
What have you seen from Justin Simmons these past 2 weeks? It looks like he's not thinking as much as playing again. I don't know if he was maybe overthinking early in the season, but what is kind of you seen the transformation these last few weeks with Justin?
Yeah, I think he's focused and playing with high energy, and it's really shown the last 2 weeks. I thought last week was his best game of the season, and maybe his best game since I've been here last week, and he had a good game yesterday. So, I think he's had, meeting with himself, and he's really jacked up his play.
Kyle Fuller was all over the field yesterday. What role do you envision for him this week?
I don't know. I got to see the way this injury list plays out. Yeah, I mean, there's a guy yesterday that had never played nickel in his whole career, got a 3-day crash course on it, was set to play, and then he had to go to left corner first, and then he had to go to right corner or vice versa, and he was ready, and Kyle's a pro. He hasn't been happy with his role here of late. We've talked about it, but he was ready to go. And he embraced the challenge of playing nickel with 1 week of preparation.
More on Quinn Miners. You did hold him back or had him develop their first 4 or 5 games. You think he's ready? I mean, that one play with Javante, it looked like you got to play the belly, don't you?
He's ready. Okay.
What have you seen out of Ronald Darby since he came off IR?
Yeah, he's played better the last 2 weeks. I thought the first week or two after he came back from IR, he was, for lack of a better word, rusty. I think he's more confident and more comfortable now, both getting back mentally and playing within the defense and to where the hamstring is history to him.
Around the draft, you said.
Last time you were at home, there were 12,000 no-shows. There were a lot of fans that weren't at the game, and you were still able to win that game against Washington. Now you're on a 2-game winning streak. In your words, why should fans come back and watch this team? What is it about this team that should attract fans to watch this team?
Well, I mean, yesterday's game is one reason. You know, they saw it if they watched it, and they had to be excited to see that team play yesterday the way they did against that opponent on the road. And hopefully we won a few of them back.
When you guys, when you took Caden Stearns in the draft, I think you and George mentioned you wanted to see him play like he had early in his career in Texas. What have you seen from him? Has he gotten back to?
Yeah, he has. You know, he had his last year or two at Texas weren't up to the standards that everybody had hoped for him. That's why he lasted to the 5th round, I think. And he's come in here and been focused, and I think getting drafted in the 5th round was an awakening for him. And I think he's had a very fast maturity.
Thanks, Vic.
Okay.